welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The 15th chapter of the book of Exodus records the happenings among the Israelites after their nighttime journey through the Red Sea and the cataclysmic fate of the Egyptian army that had foolishly chased them into the chasm of separated waters. In what we know as the Song of Moses, the Bible gives us a grand picture of the humble, holy rejoicing of the nation, now so gloriously freed from its ancient captivity. Exodus 15:11, Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretchest out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength into thy holy habitation. If we listen with the ears of our hearts back across the long roll of centuries, we can still hear the echoes of this glad song with the masculine tones of Israel's mighty men intoning their part while Miriam and the women answered them with theirs. What a time of national pride with its rousing patriotism and recognition of the uniqueness of the place God had granted his chosen people. Our King James Version of the Bible reads, hast led forth, but the original is led gently. That may seem a strange expression to describe a divine leadership that had resulted in disaster for so many in the Egyptian military, but it was surely a fitting introduction to the kindness God purposed to show these sojourners as they trekked to their future inheritance. Those long ago fugitives stood all unknowingly on the threshold of a grand adventure that was to change history and mark them forever as a people apart with their own moral and legal code, unique system of worship, and divinely appointed destiny. In a way, their rejoicing at the future unfolding before them symbolizes the experience of every one of us who managed by God's intervention to escape the Egyptian bondage of living a sinful life, pass through our own Red Sea in Jesus' blood, and find redemption in Him. We too enter into a new experience, having new covenants and vast new opportunities for development into a whole fulfilling life and destiny of our own as citizens of a free spiritual country made up of God's own chosen people, elect from every nation yet who are one wherever we find each other all over the earth. Those long ago people were surely little more in their own capacities than a ragtag bunch of runaway slaves with almost no idea of how to govern themselves, not much respect for leadership, very little grasp of how to worship the God who had given them their freedom, not even any clear idea of where they were going. Well, never mind all that. The power that had unleashed frogs into every Egyptian bread-making oven and sent insects into every bedroom did not act capriciously. God, who after all is the only one who can guide any of us into the future, had these things well in hand. The phrases used here in the Bible are an interesting combination, for they combine the concept of gentle leadership with that same leadership rather being the work of a strong hand. Thou hast guided them in thy strength. That divine strength is the only power that is able to guide. When the newfound nation was left to its own devices and set about making for itself a religious system and government institutions, it modeled the Egyptian pagan gods and found its leaders through the haughty pretensions of proud men and women, rather than from those whom God in His wisdom meant to set for their leadership. We're no different. Without God guiding us, even after finding His salvation, we'll only make a model of our own human thinking to direct us into the future. We need a new birth, but we also need someone to restructure our understanding and give us a vision of a glorious church without spot or wrinkle, whose builder and maker is God, where He sets the members in the body as it pleases Him. Have you found such a place of worship? And also, have you talked to Him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.